Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we will build a simple web server for handling file uploads in, you guessed it right, Golang. We will build a server which accepts an uploaded file. We'll process this uploaded file and first we'll save it to the disk, and then we are going to upload that file to a cloud storage service. So make sure you stick around so you find out which cloud storage service provider we will use for this video. If you stick around to the end, I have a challenge for you about processing uploaded files, okay? If you think that makes sense, then absolutely smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can get access to all of our videos in the future as they drop. Let's dive into what we have for today. I will open up a terminal and navigate to the desktop/projects folder, and then I will navigate to the tutorials folder. Inside there, I'm going to run mkdir go_upload and navigate into the go_upload folder. I will open up this folder inside of VS Code by running code. Then I'll open up a terminal inside of VS Code and run go.mod init go_upload. After we have a go.mod file inside the working directory, I will run echo index.go to create a new index.go file. I will declare a package name inside of this file, and then I will create a main function which will serve as the entry point into our application. Inside this main function, I will import and call fmt.print hello world to the standard output. I will save and run this file from the terminal, and you can see that we get back hello world in our terminal. I will then run go get github.com/gorilla/mux to install the Gorilla Mux HTTP router, which will greatly simplify the process of creating the web server. I'm going to continue editing the program. I will erase the fmt.print function call and create a new variable arrow which will be equal to mux.new router. This returns a router object which we store inside the arrow variable, and then I will call http.handle with / as the first argument and then r as the second argument. Then I will call fmt.print with server running on port 3000. I will call http listen and serve on /3000 and pass in mail as the second argument to the listen and serve function to serve up the app on port 3000, and then go into the terminal and run index.go again. You can see that we get a message in our console, server running on port 3000. I will create a new file, controller/template.go, and inside of this file, I will declare a package controller for modularity and proper code separation. Then I will create a function, return template, which is a root handler function. It accepts two arguments. W, which is the http.response writer, which allows us to write a response back to the client, effectively ending the request. While the second argument arrow is a pointer of type http.request. This is just pointing to the request with all of the request data like request header, body, etc. Then I will set the content type for the header to be text/html, and then I will call fmt.fprintf to send back a string which is a HTML template with an upload form back to the client. Then I will head back to the index.go file where I will call arrow.handleFunc, pass in a / as the route, then the controller.return template as a rule handler function, and ensure that this is only triggered when a get request is made to the / route. Then I will start the server from the terminal and open up a browser tab and navigate to localhost port 3000. You can see that we get back the form where we can upload a file, which I will try to do, but we are going to get back a 404 error. Now we need to process this uploaded file. I'll head back to VS Code where I will create a new file, upload.go inside the controllers folder, and then I will declare a package controller inside of this file. I will declare and export a function handle uploaded file, which is also a root handler function. Inside this function, I will create three variables: file, handler, and error, which are all obtained from calling arrow.form file with the name of the form field that has the file attached to it. Then I will check if there are any errors encountered while trying to fetch the file. I'll send back an error to the client, error getting uploaded file. After the if block, I'm going to defer file.close, and then I will obtain the file name from the handler.file name and the size from the handler.size, okay? Then I will end the response with a message, file uploaded successfully. I'll head back to the index.go file where I will call arrow.handleForm with the / upload route. The controller for this route will be the controller.handle uploaded file, and I will make sure that this is a post request. Then I will start the server from the terminal and head back to the browser, select a file to upload and click the upload button. I can see that we get a message, file uploaded successfully. The next thing we need to do is to make sure the user can only upload a certain type of file we want, okay? So for that, I'm going to head back to the controller /upload.go file where I will create a function, validate mean type. This function accepts an argument file which is a multipart.file. This represents the uploaded file, and the function is going to return an optional error object. Inside the function, I will create a buffer by calling the make function. We will make a byte array with a length of 512 bytes. This is just enough to read the file headers, which is all we need to validate the file. Then we will read the file into the buffer we just created, and if any error is encountered, I will return an error reading file. Okay, then I will call http.detect content type with the buffer and store the results inside of a variable content type. I will create a map allowed type which maps a string to a boolean. I will map the allowed content type image/jpeg to true, image/png to true, image/jpg to true, and application/pdf to true. Then I will check that the content type is in the allowed, otherwise I will return an error, invalid file type, upload another file. Then I will reset the file seeker to 0 by calling file.seek with 0 as the first argument and iu.seek start as the second argument. If there are any errors encountered while resetting the file seeker, I will return an error seeking file, and return nil at the end of the function. Then I will continue with the hand uploaded file function. I will validate the name type of the file and handle any errors returned from it. Then I'm going to go back to the terminal and restart the server. I'll open up a browser and try to upload an image first, which is successfully processed. However, if I try to upload a GIF, it doesn't get processed. I will get an error, invalid file type, upload another file. Now we need to save the uploaded file to disk, and for that I will head back to VS Code, and inside the controller/upload.go file, I will create a function save file to disk, which accepts two arguments: the uploaded file and the name to save the file with. This function will also return an optional error object. Inside the function, I'm going to call os.getWD, which fetches and returns the current working directory. If there are any errors encountered while trying to fetch and return the current working directory, then I return an error reading working directory. Then I will call filepath.join to append the working directory to a /upload folder. Then I will call os.make_dir with the key path. Then I will handle all errors encountered while trying to make this directory, because at the end of the day, this os.make_dir creates a new directory for us. I will add the permissions for creating the directory because I left that out. If the error is because the directory already exists, I'm just going to ignore it. Then I will call os.create with the file path and file name. This is going to return a destination and an error, which I'm going to handle. Then I'm going to defer destination.close, and then I'm going to call iu.copy with the destination and the uploaded file. This copies the contents of the uploaded file into the destination. I will process any errors encountered while trying to copy the file to the destination, and then I'm going to return nil from the function. I will head back to the uploaded file function, and I will now try to save the file to disk after validating the MIME type. I will handle any errors encountered while trying to save the file to disk and head back to the browser to test this out by selecting the file and clicking the upload button. I'll head back to VS Code. I can see that we now have a new folder, upload, with the uploaded image inside of it. Remember, I said if you stick around, you're going to find out the cloud service provider that we are going to be uploading this file to. Okay, and for that we are going to be uploading this file to GCS, that is Google Cloud Storage. This is in case you're using a server and you don't have access to create and store files on, and you have a cloud service provider. Let's say you have Google Cloud, AWS, or Microsoft Azure, anything that is similar. Okay, I will create a new function inside the controller/upload.go file, and I'm going to name this function save file to GCS. This function will accept a file argument and a file name. It's going to return an optional error object. Inside the function, I will retrieve the current working directory, just as we did in other functions, and then construct a key path with the working directory and a string /key.json. This will be the file for our service account key JSON from Google Cloud. Okay, forgive me for not showing you how to set up a bucket and all of that jazz, how to create service accounts, how to download a service account key. I'm safe in the knowledge that for you to still be watching up to this point, you already know all of that jazz, and you're just interested in knowing how to take the file that has been uploaded to your application and save it to Google Cloud. Use it, go. Okay, so let's continue. I will create a context for interacting with Google Cloud by calling context.background. Then I will create a new Google Cloud client by passing in the context as the first argument, and then leaving up the key.json file to serve as the credentials by calling option.with credentials file and passing the key path to it. Then I will defer client.close. I will set up a context which will cancel any operations with GCS after 5 seconds if there are no established connection. Then I will create a GCS file object which is tied to a bucket maga underscore public, and this points to the file name argument. Then I will run go get cloud.com/go/storage to install the GCS client for Go. Then I will call o.newWriter with the context. I will copy the contents of the file into the object returned from calling o.newWriter. Then I will process any errors encountered while trying to copy the file to GCS. I will close the cloud file writer and print a message to the standard output file uploaded successfully, and then I'm going to return new from the function. Now here comes the challenge I told you about. What do I need to do to ensure that this code does not fail when I will run it? And then second, other than uploading files to the cloud or saving it on disk, what other method can we use for processing uploaded files? I'd love to hear your answer, so please do so using the comment section. If you found this video useful, ensure you absolutely smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you can get access to all of our videos in the future as they drop, and I will see you in the next one.